folks, welcome back. If you're new, thanks for joining the Eagle's Nest. So this video today is going to be a match summary of the Sin City Precision Rifle match hosted by Desert Sportsman Rifle Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now this club does reach out past 1,000 yards, and I am taking out the 6 ARC and pretty much stretching its limits. It's going to be a pretty fun match. It's more of an NRL style match. I'll do my best to give you guys a good summary of the match, get some good footage of how it operates, basically some tips and pointers, and we'll see how well I do. Like I mentioned, the 6 ARC is going to be stretching its limits. We do not have wind out here. This range actually looks pretty cool, but we'll be stretching out past 1,300 yards. So first round impacts always matter, and we'll see what that little cartridge could do. Stick around. Okay, so if you're not a member at the Desert Sportsman Rifle Club, they make you sit out here outside the gate until 7 o'clock. The match does start at 7 o'clock, and there is a $10 entry fee plus a $20 match fee, so 30 bucks total. But not bad. This range does look pretty interesting, pretty wide open. So excited to see what this is all about. God bless America. Freedom, baby.
I want to build a 25 pre-roll. I'm using my 6.5 because I had it.
It sits in a bucket of water.
You know, like, I'm not trying to make 30 seconds in this.
With a rocky start taking a 0 for this stage, this is stage 1, 3, 2, 1. Shooter will begin standing port arms, rifle loaded, bolt back, second magazine stage on the table. Upon start signal, move to the prone position. Engage 3 MOA targets at 797 yards, 865 with 1 round each. Then a 963 IPSEC with 1 round. Drop the magazine, move to the tabletop, load magazine and engage 2 MOA circles at 797 yards, 865 with 1 round each. Then a 963 IPSEC with 1 round. Drop the magazine. Then move to prone, load the magazine, and engage a 1 MOA circle at 797, then 865, then a IPSC at 963. Only 1 bag allowed, a sling and a bipod.
Mag out, pull back, chamber plug in, please. Station 0. That's it, next stage. Oh my gosh.
Stage 2, this is a tiebreaker stage. You got bowling pins at 331 yards, 105 seconds on the clock. The course of fire: begin standing behind the barricade. Upon start signal, move to the designated position on the barricade and engage the bowling pins from left to right. Hit to move on. Once they have been hit left to right, move to the second designated spot and engage the pins right to left, shooting support side until each is hit once. You must hit to move on. Equipment, any deployed on the clock.
Impact. Wrong target. Impact. 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 Good job. 71-73. Nice job.
Stage 3, pick your poison. Targets are IPSC squares. Ranges at 1,039 yards, 1,162, 1,253, and 1,327. Time 105 seconds on the clock with 8 rounds. Course of fire. Begin standing. Rifle grounded, loaded, bolt back. Upon start signal, pick a card and move to the prone position. Engage the targets in order listed on the card with 2 rounds each before moving to the next target. Equipment you could use is 1 bag, sling, and bipod.
Target 1. Impact. Target 4. Time.
Stage 4, swinging in the wind. We got targets at 331, 425, and 551. 105 seconds on the clock, 9 rounds. Course of fire. Begin standing with the magazine in, bolt back. Upon start signal, move to the first designated position on the barricade and engage the targets near to far. 1 round on the 331, 2 rounds on the 425, 3 rounds on the 551. Then move to the second designated position on the barricade and engage each target with 1 round. Near to far, hit or miss, move on. As far as equipment, any deployed on the clock.
You left side, you got 6 pins. Yeah, after about like 20 consecutive, then it gets too hot. So, lean it up there, deploy this thing, right on the stage, put on there, get my hit. Yeah, there's never. Impact!
I got 1-9. I got hold under 7.
Impact! Oh.
Copy. Huh?
My first time I used a chamber flash?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Dude.
Can I get that?
New position?
Yep.
Made for
Love it.
I don't know what magazine your team uses. With AICS or
no,
AICS.
these are standard people.
Oh. Someone here might have a teacher. Impact! Impact! Youtside.
We don't need to be soft.
Y-O-W. Impact!
Look at this one. Nice. You're starting up like that, bogus.
I like 30 stuff.
5.
Thank you.
I like using them better than stand by.
Yeah. The 6 and the 8. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then I have a 1 mil dip, 1 mil hold. Yeah, that makes more sense. Mouth power I'm trying to let me see. I haven't got it. Supported by the scope, brother.
Back.
Impact. 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 Stage 5, back and forth. Targets at 331, 425, 551, and 1,004 yards. 105 seconds on the clock, 9 rounds. Course of fire. Shooter will begin standing with the bolt back, magazine in. Upon start, Siddle move to the spool top and engage at 3 MOA circles at 551 and 653 with 1 round. Then engage the 2 MOA circles at 425 and 653 with 1 round. Then engaged a 1 MOA circle at 331 and 653 with 1 round. Last, engage an 18-inch circle at 1,004 yards until hit or 3 rounds. First round counts as 3 points, second round is 2 points, last round 1 point. 1 bag, sling and bipod allowed.
Time, mag out, bolt back. Yep. Stand by.
The 2 MOA at 653, the 1 MOA at 330, 1 MOA at 653, and then up to 3 shots of 1,000. If you hit it on the first, you hit the 1,000 on the first round, it's 3 points. You hit the second round, it's 2 points. You hit the last round.
Back.
Now you're going to move to 653, engage the 3 MOA target there.
I did, but it's like,
Oh.
I made it so that it was 3 pieces.
How much time?
Impact. Back.
He's hitting windage all the time, right?
He's holding windage in the scope. It's just dialed in his elevation.
Back.
Back. And we got 331, the 1 MOA, the little guy.
Back.
Damn.
The 1 MOA, 653, the little one. Oh, and now he's going to go to 1,004. Shoot. Shooting
6.
from 4 to 6 millimeters. Third attempt.
Alright, mag out, back. That was hard.
Good shooting, good shooting.
Back in.
Stage 6, positional with a twist. We have a 2/3 IPSC at 330 yards, 105 seconds on the clock, 10 rounds. Course of fire, begin standing position on the firing line, magazine in the bolt back. Upon start signal, engage the 2/3 IPSC with 2 rounds from a standing, then a kneeling, then sitting, then a prone position. If time remains, shooter can resume a standing position and take 2 additional shots. Each of those 2 additional shots are worth 2 points each. Bolt back during transition. Equipment, sling only.
Impact.
Bolts back.
Impact. Dude, you gotta be you can't be doing that. You gotta be supported by your arm only. There you go. Impact. That'll work. Ready? Yeah. Ready. Stand by. Left, check your NPA, make sure it's down.
Impact.
There you go.
Back.
Dead center, but the wind was calm as hell when I was doing it.
Impact.
There's two left in there.
Impact.
Stage 7, towed spools. Squares at 742 yards and 1,104 yards. 105 seconds on the clock, 10 rounds. Course of fire. Begin standing with the magazine in, bolt back. Upon start, it'll move to the left edge of the spool on its side and engage the 742-yard square with 2 rounds. Then move to the tabletop spool and engage the 1,104-yard target with 2 rounds. Then return to spool number 1 and from the center engage the 742 again with 2 rounds. Move to the right edge of the spool 1 and engage the 742-yard target with 2 rounds. Then move to the tabletop again and engage the target 1,104-yard target with 2 rounds. Equipment any deployed on the clock.
You got a sheet off here.
800? 700?
742 again, yeah.
All right, spotter up.
So we're doing 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yes, sir. Should you understand the course of fire then? Where were you on 7?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Stand by.
Yep, don't adjust
And then you
anything.
got spotters, right?
Spotter.
I died out there.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna do 10.
Yeah, I didn't see my first shot.
I was gonna do 210. Oh, my
Do
God.
another.
You guys-
The very last one. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Impact.
I fucking ate heat.
No.
Rock, okay. Stage 8, the last stage. Spin the barrel. 3 MOA circles at 425 yards and 551. 105 seconds on the clock with 9 shots. Course of fire. Begin standing bolt back, magazine in the rifle, behind the barrel in the upright position. Upon start signal, engage the 3 MOA circles at 551 yards with 3 rounds. Then, lay the barrel on its side perpendicular to the shooter. Engage the 3 MOA circles at 425 yards with 3 rounds. Then, spin the barrel at 90 degrees. Then engage the 3 MOA circles at 551 yards again with 3 rounds. Equipment, any deployed on the clock.
Back. And that's not solid. You get a lot of this. That's because you're not shooting right. Back.
All right, folks, so made it back. I ended up taking 11th place out of 27 contestants. In fact, the top 15 was within 5 points of each other. So that really tells you that this match was very fair and very challenging to majority of us. So regardless, I noticed a few things I needed to practice on. And one of the main things was when I'm kneeling, my support, I'm kind of just kind of sitting on the ball of my heel, and that's giving me a little bit more rocky motion. So I noticed what I need to practice on really is sitting on my foot actually. So having my foot flat on the floor as best as possible, you know, the back side of my foot, and just sitting on the back of my foot will give me a better position in shooting in those kind of positions. That stated, there was a few stages like swinging in the wind where I was shooting off a rope, and it was kind of a gamble. You know, we really had to kind of see if you want to deploy your tripod, you know, during the 105 seconds and cost yourself, you know, 8 seconds or something or so to deploy your actual tripod, which in fact you grab in the rear. It gives you a buttstock support, but then you had that rope which your rifle is swinging on. In fact, I kind of believe that if I just used a pump pillow, I probably would have been a lot better. I would have been more cinched up and able to control that rifle a little better. So that stage got a lot of people. That was a pretty challenging stage in my opinion. But I was able to make up time on the shooting on the top off my bag there. So more of these matches that I see, there's stages out there that are requiring you to shoot offhand. A lot of folks hate it, mostly because they don't practice, including me, shooting offhand. 350 yards to 2/3 dipstick, you know, it seems like a pretty easy target, but shooting offhand with a 20-pound rifle, that could get you. And in fact, I almost got DQ'd on that stage. If you guys notice, that rifle almost broke the firing line, that 180-degree firing line. And it's the simple fact that I had that sling, you know, bunched up on my bicep, and I had a lot of pressure on my left arm. And then when I went to transition to sitting, I believe, the buttstock of the rifle came off my shoulder, thus putting everything swinging that way. Luckily, what kept us safe, and this is what is a requirement for PRS matches, is 2 things. One, you know, luck. You know, luckily my rifle, I was able to control it. And then 2, I had the bolt back. So this is why PRS matches require you, before moving positions, to have your bolt locked back in the rear before you move, for simple reasons like this. So Take note of that, and obviously, you know, always the main thing for these matches is to be safe. We want everybody to go home unhurt, right? So besides that, the 6 arc, what I could say about it, I kept up with a lot of folks there. There was some folks running 6 Creedmoors, there was a couple GTs, and I saw quite a few folks with the 6 BR. Those folks that are running the 6 BR were pretty surprised to see that the 6 arc was keeping up, if not performing just a little bit better than the BR. As far as velocity, I was at 29, like 60, and they're like pushing 2870, 2890, and they were pretty surprised to see that I was pushing that much velocity out of that little cartridge. But they did well. I mean, the majority of the stages that were past 1,000 yards, that's just all experience in shooting that kind of range. And like I mentioned, I was just a hair off on my windage, and that cost me some points. Well, other than that, folks, I got more videos coming up. I'm gonna, you know, obviously got to prep some more brass, which gave me an idea about using a comparator or making my own comparator. So you may like that video. That's coming up pretty soon. Like, share, subscribe. As always, comment below if you have a comment, suggestions, feedback, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.